Welcome back to my channel. This is Grace Channel with Pastor Grace Donald. I'm happy to have you here again. Thank you all for your comments, for your subscriptions. Thank you for your support for this work I'm doing. I really appreciate all my subscribers. And thanks for all the lovely comments. I've been getting calls, I've been getting written comments from different angles. And I appreciate you all that you're following my testimony and that these testimonies have been a blessing to you. Please share it with somebody. You don't know who that testimony will lift. When people hear testimonies of God's faithfulness, it encourages them and strengthens them again in their weights for their expectations. You understand? So please share this again with somebody if you're seeing this video. My last video was on how I met my husband. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. I am very sure that it will bless you, to reveal to you the mysterious ways that God works to perform His wonders in our lives. If you have been watching my videos and yet to subscribe, please and please, I really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button right now. Then if you like my video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and then drop your comments in the comment section below. Today I'm titling today's testimony The Confirmation. The confirmation. You want to hear about the confirmation? I'm ready to give it to you. So, after I got the conviction that my husband was the man that God wanted me to marry, I had a little difficulty presenting it to my pastor because I knew my pastor would prefer me to marry right there in the church and remain. You understand? That's a normal thing. So I had to start praying for God to just help me convince Him and talk to Him before I even raise up the issue to Him. And so I started praying, and thereafter I told Him about it. And when I told Him about it, oh God, He didn't take it. You understand? At the beginning, it was like, oh, of course, He wanted me to stay, He wanted me to be around, He wanted somebody from the church there. And after all that He said to convince me to wait for somebody in the church and all that, I just said, Daddy, I understand. Please, can you just pray about it? Because I knew that if he prayed about it, he would definitely get a conviction, unless it wasn't God that spoke to me. So I said, Daddy, can you just pray about it? I understand everything I'll be saying, but please, can you just pray about it? If you pray about it and then you tell me all this, I assure you that I will not argue with you. So he said, okay. And that was it. He went and he prayed about it. And after some days, he came right on the altar there. He just said, Sister Grace, you're right. Austin is your husband. That's my husband. He said it publicly. It was a good confirmation for me. I was relieved because I knew that was God. I know how God speaks to me. And I knew that that was God telling me that this is my husband. And when Daddy confirmed it, it was such a relief for me, and I was so happy that at least I got a confirmation that I could really hear from God, and God was really talking to me, that I was not missing it, you understand? I was happy to get that confirmation. So he said immediately, go and start counseling, marriage counseling class. Marriage counseling class. That was a little scary because I didn't know how ready my husband was for the wedding yet because of the distance, and I didn't want a situation whereby I will marry, my husband will far away and I'll be here, and that kind of distance marriage. I didn't want it. And my husband too did not like it either. He wanted a situation whereby after the wedding I'll just come with him to Europe. So I mentioned it. I said, Daddy said I should go and start counseling. I said, then go and start. I know he was speaking faith because he's a man of faith, it's stubborn faith. For that matter, he's a man of strong and stubborn faith. I knew everything was not set for the wedding. I knew that, but when he said go ahead, I said okay. And then I knew the process of bringing me here would be difficult, bringing me to Europe would be difficult. And I also knew the money, the funds, because my husband is one kind of giver that I can't even rate. He's the type that knows how to take care of everybody except himself. So he's a crazy kind of giver, if that word is allowed. He gives. And so I said, okay, let's go for counseling class. And normally when we go for counseling class like that, at least your wedding date should be ready, and before the wedding, before the counseling, or immediately after the counseling class, you should be getting married. You understand how it is? So I was skeptical about it, but since it was daddy's instruction and my husband was also speaking faith, I had to also stir up my faith and say, okay. And so we went ahead and started counseling class, marriage counseling class. Meanwhile, while this was going on, remember that the church had said they will employ me. Daddy had said they will employ me, and I was now working in the editing studio of the church. And working as a volunteer and working full-time as an employee is not really the same thing. When I was a volunteer, I still had time to do my private lessons, and I was still running my master's program and all that. And I had all my time to myself in a way, but now that I'm going to be employed fully by the church, which means they're going to be paying me, financial attachment is going to be attached to the work this time around, I had to quit some of those private lessons to allow me concentrate on the work in the church, and that was going on. And during this period, I got to teach Mr. and Mrs. Yamu's children also private lessons. They were close friends and family. We've known from when I was a teenager. I told you about Sister Moitia. So it was through her that I got to know Mr. and Mrs. Yamu, because they were family. And then I got to teach their lovely children, lovely family, lovely couple to work with. In short, it wasn't really like work, it was like a family thing, just that I was being paid for it, you understand, because we were close and we were good friends. They were lovely, lovely people, and are still lovely people. I enjoyed working with them, their children, so lovely. Today when I see their children on Facebook, I'm like, wow, these children are all grown up, how time flies. And I'm sure that's what they thought of me too, because they knew me as a teenager. And life is a beautiful thing with God. So I stopped some of those private lessons to concentrate on the work in the church, and I worked for like 2-3 months, and then there was no salary forthcoming. At a point I was like, oh, all is well, what is going on? I've been working and nobody has paid me, even though they has said they will start paying me. And I was too shy to find out myself. I discussed with my elder brother, was still in the church at this point, and he decided to find that. So he spoke with daddy's PA, and he got to find out that there was a new policy that only life partners, as in people that will stay with daddy as ministry helpers for life, are those that can be employed and paid financially. And I did not know. I was disappointed because, number one, I did not know about it, and I was working all this while, And actually, it was a new policy, and that policy came up because of my relationship that I just told daddy about. So now that I'm going to marry and leave the church, it means that my employment has been terminated. Just that I was not told. I didn't know about it. Nobody told me. I was just working. So I was not happy that I was not told. But then, cannot be angry forever. It just let it go. When it comes to things of God, after you were serving God, you understand. I didn't feel bad for too long. I just said, okay, no problem, I understand. It's a policy, we have to go with it. So I was still there, and I was still serving and doing what I can. My husband said, don't stop. If it means me paying you, I'll pay you. Just continue to serve. My husband loves serving. It's only so long as you're serving God, just continue. He loves it. I remember then when I say I'm going for all night, even if it's not church all night, because I have so many people. For example, when Evangelist Bright was doing his African night entertainment meetings, and we had to do a lot of rehearsals. I supported him a lot, called upon me to help out in one area or the other, and apart from being in the choir also. So sometimes we have all night rehearsals, and I've said, "I'm for one night." I say, as long as you're serving God, I'm okay. Anyway you want to go, go. He just loves you serving God. So we never had any issues about that. He loved me when it comes to serving the Lord. And he too agreed that he would not want to leave me, because as a pastor, he needs his wife in the ministry. So we both agreed that he will not do the wedding house when my papers, my documents to join him are not ready. Now, as soon as everything is ready, we'll just do the wedding. So when he comes over after the wedding, I'll just come over with him. You understand? That was our plan. We both agreed on that. So we thank God, things kept moving on. And for those in Europe, you understand the process. It's not as easy as those of us in Nigeria think. For those, it's not that easy. The process is a long process, and the money, it costs a lot of money to be able to, bring a family member over. Especially when you want to do it the right way. Even when you're doing it the wrong way, you still have to spend a lot of money. Those are paid to come, you know how much you spend, you understand? So it wasn't an easy task, because Daddy had to do a lot of relocation that period, and then you had to kind of start all over, change city, and processing the house, processing the paper and everything. It wasn't an easy task for him, and the pressure either wasn't easy for me. Working also in the youth fellowship at this period was becoming a little difficult also, because my relationship with the youth pastor was now kind of like this, you understand? Suddenly he was no more trusting me. This is somebody that used to trust me and leave things for me. But I remember, okay, for example, I was the head of the committee for programs. We used to organize football matches between houses. We had about 22 youth houses, youth groups, call it houses then. We had about 22 of them, and we organized football competitions for the brothers among us. Group this, against group this, and until we get the winner, and then give them cup for gold, silver, and bronze. So I used to be in charge of that organization alongside with the coach in charge, the man in charge of the football. There was a youth in charge of the football thing. He was into football, so he knew everything about football. So he was working hand in hand with me, and then I had other committee members in this football committee. We used to, we raise funds ourselves and then work with the money. I never had money. I've always said that I don't owe money. I had a treasurer in charge of the money. But whenever we're going to buy the sportswears, the football and everything that we need for the competition, I anchor that, you understand? But I don't go alone. And as God will have it, God has always been giving me wisdom when it comes to dealing with finances of a group or of any organization, you understand? So I always, whenever we're going to buy this stuff, I go with the committee members, and the man in charge of football, I go with him also. I go with him also because he knows the best quality to buy. So on this particular one, we go there, we buy the things from the shop, and then they give us receipts, and then we bring it to account, accountability. Doing the report after the whole competition, give the report of how we spend the money and how money was spent and all that. So one of the after the competition, one of the presentation we had to make this account, I was reading at the whole accounts details, the report of how money came in and how money was spent, and to close the season for that year. To close the football competition for that year. I read that the whole minutes of the report and sat down with committee members and youth pastor and everything. And one funny word came from his mind that was shocking. I did not expect from him, and he has never said that, and I never thought that kind of word come from him. I was not happy with that word. So I've not forgotten, but I've learned forgiving that word. So he said, well, it's okay. I've seen you post report. I presented the receipts to show all the financial report and everything. And then he now said one word I did not expect him to say. He said, we have seen the receipt, we have seen the reports, people have done a great job. But if you go, for example, I'm trying to remember the exact way it was said, but I can't get the exact way anymore because it's long now and I've long forgotten and forgiven it. But let me just kind of paraphrase it. He said something like, where you could have gone to the person, you could have bought the thing and asked the person to change the price on the receipts. You understand? That was like a trust problem, that you could have bought the thing for 5 naira, for example, and tell the person you bought it from, the dealer you bought it from, to write 10 naira on the receipt. And I was like, wow, where is that coming from? I've never done that, and thank God I never did those bargains alone. I always had my committee members, if not all of them, but a few of them, and the head of the football league team, with me. And what I even do is, when we get there, I give them the money, they pay, they write them the receipt, and they give me back the receipt. So it wasn't an easy thing, they were all aware. So in my mind, I was happy that thank God I never did it by myself, because I could have just walked to that trust that we had before and just go buy it by myself and come back and give him the receipt. I would have been in trouble then. But thank God I went with people, and thank God in that committee, the people there also, they that went with me to buy the things were also there. So they knew that my hands were clean and that I did not do anything like that. The receipt was clear and everything. They were even the one that paid for it. They chose it. They knew the best quality of football things to buy. I didn't know anything about that, Mine was just to follow them as the head of the committee, to know what was going on, and then to pay. So I collect the money from treasurer, pay, put the receipt down, then return whatever was left in the accounts thereafter when we are giving reports. So that word was very disappointing to me. It touched me so bad, because I've been working with him for a very long time, and I knew that he trusted me, and he knew how we've been working together, that I've never, bent things when it comes to money. I was disappointed when he said that word. And I went home and I felt bad about it, and I knew that him that I knew before would not do that, you understand? So I said, well, thank God, it's all good. And then as time went on, I had a strong conviction in my spirit that it was time to move on. In short, I heard it strong in my spirit that the Lord wanted me to move now. It was like, Grace, it's time to go. It's time to move on. And I was like, where am I going to now? Where's the next step? Where do I go to? When I was serving in Osun State, I had told you that I wanted to continue, serving there. You said I should come here and learn. Does that mean that the learning is over? I said, yes, it's time to go. Oh my God, I was like, where do I go now? The first place that came to my mind was, maybe I should go back to Osun State. At least I'm used to that place. I needed to go far, because if I was within Benin, there's no way I would not, still be busy doing what I used to do. You understand? In church. But God said it's time to move, and it's not just to move within Benin, but to leave Benin completely. And my church only had branching, had headquarters in Benin, no branch. So move. So the first place I came to my mind, where do I know that I'll go to now? Okay, I'll just go to Osun State. And then the second thing was, should I go to Lagos State? I have a lot of friends in Lagos State that have been calling me, a lot of friends that we serve together, my NCCF brethren. They've been calling me, Grace, come to Lagos with your friends, you will get a good job, you are receiving peanuts in Benin, come to Lagos. But I never liked Lagos, and I was like, okay, where do you want me to go to? Should I go to Lagos? But it wasn't there. So where do I go to? It was Abuja. That was where he wanted me to go to. God wanted me to go to. And as if to confirm it then, I was like, I don't know anybody in Abuja. Do I know anybody? Everybody I know in Abuja is Miriam, my state mama then in SCCF. And she too has been saying, Grace, come to Abuja, come to Abuja. All my friends that we serve together, when it comes to job opportunities, some of them are very good when it comes to job. Me, I don't know, maybe because God never really wanted me to do a secular job. I've never really been crazy about looking for one big job and all that. Although the money is good, but I've always been content when it comes to my job. And so when they were pushing me, come to Lagos, come to Abuja, I was not interested in them. And this was like how many years after my service? Up to 3-4 years after my service here. So I suddenly called Mary and said, Mary, I'm coming to Abuja. Mary was happy. She She was happy. "Ma, come. I've been telling you to come since so that people didn't come." She was happy that I was coming. And as God will have it that period, I just got an interview to come to Abuja. I got a text message. I applied for something online, and I got a text message for an interview to come to Abuja. I scanned through my purse. I had apparently nothing. You understand? So I had to sell my gold necklace to transport myself to Abuja. And that was how I landed in Abuja. It was a whole new face, But the move was clear. The move was clear. It was time to move. It was time now to have a change of environment, a change life, a change plan, everything. And by now I'd already finished my marriage counseling class, and because things have not worked out concerning my papers, my husband could not come and my marriage could not hold, and it was not funny. It was not funny finishing marriage counseling class and everybody expected to marry. All the people that you went to class together, you're already married and you're just there, and everybody's like, but you went to marriage counseling class. When is the wedding taking place? Are you not getting married yet? Why did you go to marriage counseling and all that, It wasn't an easy thing. So when the Lord said move, in a way, I was relieved because there's a good way to get away from all this that was going on. So it was time to move, and I moved. So I'll tell you about how it was in Abuja, how God sustained me, and how God proved to me that He was indeed the one that said I should go to Abuja, and how things went by in Abuja. In my next video, stay tuned and keep sharing my videos. If you have been blessed by today's video, please share to somebody, give me a like, drop your comments in the comment below. I'll see you again next week. I want you to know that God is talking to us always. Your relationship with God must be cordial and continuous for you to hear Him, to know when the face changes. There are different phases in life and different levels in life. Don't stay at a point when the Lord says it's time to go. You should be able to hear God. You must relate with God in such a way that you know when God wants you to move on. When God says, yes, the party is over here, time to go to the next level. If you don't move, you become a problem at that level. You have issues at that level. You have troubles at that level. And when those troubles come, they are just to help you know that it's time to move. Yes, I had those troubles. And I knew it was time to move when God said move. I moved gladly, and I never regretted moving. So thank you. I'll see you again next week. Bye.